AlGhazalis' synthesis of theology, philosophy, and mysticism. AlGhazalis' unique contribution to Islamic thought lies in his ability to bridge the gap between theology, philosophy, and mysticism. In a time of intense intellectual and spiritual debate, he sought to harmonize these disciplines, demonstrating their compatibility within the framework of Islamic belief. His works reflect a profound understanding of human nature, ethics, and the path to spiritual enlightenment. Central to AlGhazalis' intellectual journey was his critique of rationalist philosophy. During his tenure in Baghdad, he engaged with the works of Islamic philosophers who were heavily influenced by Greek thinkers like Plato and Aristotle. Philosophers such as Avicenna and Al-Farabi attempted to reconcile Greek metaphysics with Islamic theology, but Al-Ghazali found many of their conclusions problematic. In Tuhfat al-Falasifa, The Incoherence of the Philosophers, Al-Ghazali refuted 20 key philosophical claims, including their views on the eternity of the world and the impossibility of bodily resurrection. He argued that such ideas contradicted fundamental Islamic beliefs. While critical of these philosophers, Al-Ghazali did not dismiss philosophy entirely. Instead, he emphasized the need for a balanced approach, wherein reason serves as a tool to understand the natural world, but ultimate truths about God and the afterlife are derived from revelation. Al-Ghazali's spiritual philosophy is best expressed in Ihya Ulum-al-Din. This encyclopedic work integrates theological principles with practical guidance on living a virtuous life. The Ihya begins with an exploration of worship, detailing the rituals of prayer, fasting, and pilgrimage. Al-Ghazali then shifts to ethical conduct, addressing qualities such as sincerity, gratitude, and patience. He emphasizes that outward actions must be accompanied by inward sincerity for them to be spiritually meaningful. Another distinctive aspect of Al-Ghazali's thought is his focus on self-purification. He believed that the human soul is marred by desires and negative traits such as greed, arrogance, and envy. Through practices like repentance, tawbah, mindfulness, muraqabah, and remembrance of God, dhikr, individuals can cleanse their hearts and draw closer to God. This process, known as taqiyya, is central to Sufism and remains a cornerstone of Islamic spirituality. Al-Ghazali's engagement with Sufism also marked a turning point in Islamic intellectual history. By integrating mystical practices with orthodox theology, he legitimized Sufism within mainstream Islam. He argued that true knowledge of God could not be attained through reason alone but required experiential and intuitive understanding. This emphasis on direct spiritual experience resonated with Sufi traditions, solidifying Al-Ghazali's status as a key figure in Islamic mysticism. In addition to his theological and spiritual insights, Al-Ghazali addressed broader societal issues. He was deeply concerned about the moral decay of his time, particularly among religious and political leaders. In his writings, he criticized the corruption and hypocrisy of scholars who sought worldly recognition rather than divine approval. Al-Ghazali called for a return to authentic religious practice, rooted in humility, sincerity, and devotion. Al-Ghazali's influence extended far beyond his lifetime. His works were translated into multiple languages, including Latin, and became foundational texts for medieval scholars in both the Islamic and Western worlds. In Europe, his ideas sparked debates about the relationship between faith and reason, influencing thinkers such as Thomas Aquinas and Albertus Magnus. By the end of his life, Al-Ghazali had become a symbol of intellectual and spiritual renewal. He spent his final years in Tus, dedicating himself to teaching, writing, and worship. His death in 1111 CE marked the end of an era but also the beginning of a legacy that continues to inspire. Through his synthesis of theology, philosophy, and mysticism, Al-Ghazali offered a holistic vision of Islam that speaks to both the mind and the heart. His works remain a beacon for those seeking to navigate the complexities of faith, reason, and spirituality.